What makes a community? People gathering together over a specific want or need, something to rally around, and something to enjoy. In central Minnesota, there is an unknown community that lies deep in the roots for love of sports. That love and passion in sport would be for the game internationally known as football, locally known as soccer. Or as it may be known to some people unaware of the sport, culture, and the people around the game, it is the hidden game. St. Cloud features a diverse community that shines on many different backgrounds, stories, and life scenarios. St. Cloud State Women's Soccer features a large group of players coming from many different states and experienced a lot of different youth clubs and playing levels growing up.
Well, the foundation that I was built upon was the Ohio soccer style, so very athletic, very aggressive, very in your face. We know how to foul without getting caught by the refs. So, I mean, there is a bit of boot ball involved, but over the years they've played more and more possession, but still athletic and still very aggressive.
Yeah, so I played for Dakota Rev Club Soccer, which a lot of girls on this team played for Dakota Rev, so I've made a lot of connections there, and I've played against people like Harper, who was just interviewed at Shattuck. And then in high school, I was from a really small high school, but it was a really good soccer program, so I had a lot of opportunity between club soccer and high school.
Well, I started playing club soccer in 4th grade, and coming up to my senior year of high school, I was in 5 different clubs. Basically, I was transitioning from a very low-level team up to like the highest level you could get to in National League.
I grew up in Eagan, Minnesota, so from the Twin Cities area. I played for Dakota Rev and ECU High School, and I really enjoyed it because it was kind of a small community, and I always knew people 3 years older, 3 years younger, so it kind of just built strength and pride in our small community.
Yeah, I think that my club coach was a huge role model for me, Coach Buckley. I had him like pretty much all growing up, and he was just a great role model mentor and someone that you could look up to. And that just helps you develop like different characteristics as you're growing older and going through different situations, and having a solid role model there while you're playing a sport you love is just amazing and something that you are like lucky to have. And so I was really appreciative that Appleton Soccer Club had such great coaches, and that really pushed me towards getting into my own coaching career and just giving back to your community and being selfless when you're sharing your knowledge of the game.
At the educational athletic level, St. Cloud Apollo is a school that features a wide variety of students with many different passions and going through the common struggles of the high school aged group. Chad Keller is the boys varsity head coach at Apollo, who while faces those struggles, has been impressed with much of the players and their families that have come through the program.
Yeah, I think a lot of people maybe don't necessarily understand the game of soccer or give it as much time or thought. And I think I think the people who have been to, say, an Apollo Tech game under the lights on a Thursday night, they get it. I mean, it's a pretty awesome experience, and it's pretty intense, and it's really a lot of fun to be a part of those games. And I think just in general in the U.S., I think soccer's kind of taken a back seat over the years, but I think that's really starting to change, and I think it's growing a lot more. And obviously it has in Minnesota with the pro team coming in, and I know in St. Cloud as well, there's more and more teams starting up and getting stronger, and it's good to see. I think it's good, it's fun, and I think it's a great game, and more people should get involved and pay attention to it, because it's a lot of fun.
One coach for the Huskies has worked in this specific area of central Minnesota.
Sartell High School soccer team, and I helped out with Coach Roy Snyder, just helped him with his practice a couple days a week, and I just saw right away that there's just a lot of different groups in St. Cloud. There's like a lot of different high schools, and there's just a love of soccer, and there's not a lot of cohesiveness with all the different programs. And I think Central Minnesota Youth Soccer Association is one that is starting to develop that. And after I worked with Sartell, I was able to work with CMYSA as well, and also go into helping out in Albany with a soccer camp for a week there.
To the challenge of scheduling many different teams at Apollo High School, because of a large pool of players.
A big thing is communication and just letting the players know, exactly what I expect and what I want them to do as teammates and on the field, and just really just getting the team to gel and figuring out which players are gonna really fit the pieces to the puzzle. And soccer, you got 10 guys on the pitch with the goalie, and trying to find the right chemistry with the right say 16 to 18 guys to really fill out that roster and work as a unit, because every season there's injuries, there's different things that happen, whether it's grades or a family thing or somebody moving, or you just never know what's going to happen in the season. It's really every season is unique and different, and there's always a different set of challenges.
Many of the players praise St. Cloud State and the program at the university that continues to push the players for their own success in athletics, education, and have reached the high levels of the collegiate level.
Playing at St. Cloud State, I've built a lot of strong relationships with my teammates. Playing soccer here has really helped me grow as a player and a person. We're really possession-oriented here, so that's helped build the game and help us beat other teams that way.
It's been amazing. I'm definitely blessed to have all my teammates and stuff. I tell them all the time. They're probably like, shut up, you talk too much. But I'm definitely thankful for the facility, the people that help us every day. Kay does laundry, the coaches set up, they bring us breakfast. Like, all the little things definitely just make it all a dream come true.
Yeah, it's been amazing. The facilities and coaching staff are great. I've really seen my technical skills develop more. I think coming in, I just brought a lot of speed, and that was it. So it's been fun to watch myself grow over the years, and I've made a lot of great friendships.
Now, Keller feels more space is needed in the city for many of the school and youth programs to be able to play and continue to grow their own game.
Yeah, I think the Central Minnesota Youth Soccer Association's done a great job. They have rec league open programs that are more local based, and then they also have travel based programs, and they start those programs young. That's kind of how I got started in the coaching with 5 and 6 year olds with my son, and then just kind of worked my way up, and then got into coaching the other kids. But that program, I think, really does a lot, and then also with the diversity that's been coming into St. Cloud the last number of years, those players really, the Somali community is really involved with soccer, and you got a lot of talented athletes coming in, and so it really just soccer is really alive and well in St. Cloud right now, and there's just a ton of people playing soccer, and there's a ton of young kids, I think, seeing that and getting involved in the sport too, and I think the numbers are just going to continue to grow.
And has seen many aspects of how the game has grown here locally and changes it could see in the future of the game.
And I see, all the area schools are really thriving. Even, the schools that maybe struggled in years past, they're getting stronger.
Despite being in the collegiate level, many of these players continue to point back to the importance of the youth game, and giving many lower level aged clubs a chance to continue to grow their own talent and given opportunities to play.
Yeah, definitely what I think has been harder was the age level split this past year, and so I definitely think that's going to impact the youth players, because what's going to happen is they're going to be able to get better level coaching and then be with the team that's meant for their year, and so starting at a younger level will help for the college experience. But I definitely think being more involved in the youth, being in middle school towards that high school transition is a key part to realizing if you're going to be wanting to play in college or that higher level experience. And then for high school in particular, having those coaches that have the passion, have the drive, that want you to do well and aren't just there to be paid as a coach. They want you to succeed and do well.
So right now I feel like in the Twin Cities area we have a lot of involvement, but throughout the state of Minnesota there's not really many opportunities. So I think branching out from what the cities have to other places in Minnesota would be really beneficial for the future of soccer.
The one thing I would say is definitely in Minnesota, I would like to see clubs branch out a little more. I definitely noticed that a lot more people have to travel to like the cities or the bigger cities in Minnesota to play soccer, and just expanding girls' youth soccer clubs. I think that would be great, and just getting everyone involved.
I would just like to see more opportunity, especially for women. I think with United being here now, there's more talk about soccer, which I love, but more opportunity for women, and it's fun to watch the USA national team. I actually just got to go to a game over spring break, which was super exciting. So I'd love to see people just get more excited about that stuff.
While soccer doesn't steal the daily headlines of sports papers across America, in communities such as St. Cloud, it means more than any sport. To many families across the United States and the world, soccer has a larger global impact than the sport has ever seen. For Central Minnesota and across the Midwest, strong, talented players like the ones featuring up and down the St. Cloud State roster are what continue to drive the game forward. And maybe one day, in the scope of American sports, the game of soccer won't be the hidden game.